mock it up, and it's kind of tricky. As you see, look at how close the wastegate and the exhaust is. Before and after the exhaust. It's pretty cool. So there you see the piece that it punched through. Boom. There you go. One dimple die. What's going on, guys? Welcome again to another video. So yes, I'm still under the weather. My throat still hurts. I couldn't really sleep last night, but anyway, let's move forward. So I have a giant mess here, but this is where the bender used to be. These two holes right here. Well, we got two more holes, but the toolbox is blocking it. I moved it all the way over here. Now I have enough clearance to where I could, do all my bends, and I'm comfortable doing that, everything and whatever. I have a huge mess because I was moving stuff around, and just it's gonna stay like that for now. But good news, I have the bender completely level. Which, knowing me, I'm gonna be paranoid because whenever I welded the base on the base or the bender, it warped on the bottom. Now I did tighten it to the point. I mean, it's pretty tight, so I doubt it'll ever move. But being that you put a lot of torque on this thing, whenever you pull on it, you never know. So. As picky as I am, I know I want to do things the right way. I'm gonna go ahead and check this bender every time for it to be level, and I'm pretty sure everybody does the same thing, maybe. But went ahead yesterday before we left. We wanted to go out somewhere to eat, which was a failure because yesterday was it's just a bad day for everything. We were recommended this restaurant, and it turned out to be horrible. And expensive. But before we left, I went ahead and threw a little chromoly because it was already there before, and I went ahead and threw it back in there, finished the 65-degree angle, came out perfect, and then through the other side, leveled everything out. I just wanted to get that one bend done, and it came out perfect. And the way you know it come out perfect, I will show you. So pretty much all you have to do in order for you to know that you did a bend like that perfect is you gotta put it on flat ground, and if it kicks up, see, right now it's completely level, nothing is kicking up. So you know everything is good. But now, like if one of these legs, one of these ends, either here or here, kick up, tilt up, some kind of way or whatever, you know that your bend is off. Now, being that this is chromoly, it'll probably be extremely hard to fix that problem. If it's a very, very slight bend, you could probably fix it, but I'm not 100% sure on, like I said, on chromoly being so strong, I'm not 100% sure on how you could fix it or if it's even possible. That's why when it comes to stuff like this, you have to be really, really picky and make sure that your bender is level, your pipe is level with the bender. Just put everything at 0. and check it both ways. Check it both ways, make sure everything's on 0. Check the tubing, make sure that's on 0. If everything's on 0, you can't fail. If that's what you need, I'm saying for like the main hoop or something like that. I mean, if you got to kick it up, 10 degrees or whatever for like a door bar or whatnot, then that's different. But for a main hoop, make sure everything's on 0. Once you bend it, you're gonna be good. I mean, that speaks for itself. I was super picky about that and it came out right. Now, I'm still not out on the clear because I have 2 more bends, which is here and here. So now I have to go 16.5 inches from the beginning of this bend to here. And the same thing over here from the beginning or the end, whatever you want to call it, from here to here. So once I measure that up 16.5 inches down, I mark it, put that in the tubing bender at the end of the die, and then bend the rest, which should be 25 degrees, which is right here. 25 degrees. I know it's scribbled because I made some mistakes or whatever, but 25 degrees on each side. So pretty much this is a perfect, should be a perfect like horseshoe kind of sort of whatever. So this angle and this angle should both amount to 90 degrees in a perfect world. You do have a tolerance of so many degrees, whatever, depending on the sanctioning. So like if NHRA or Formula Drift or whatever, they have their own regulations. Everybody has their own regulations. So like SCCA, all that stuff. So you just got to check to see what kind of tolerance is or how many bends, because so NHRA allows 4 bends on the main hoop and 4 bends only. So that means you can't, like, if you want to be tied up on the roof, you can't go up and do another bend in the middle or anything like that. No, because you're gonna have already 4, these 2 and these 2. So look at your regulation to whatever you're gonna set up your car. SCCA, like I said, NHRA, Formula Drift, Time Attack, whatever it is, and make sure that you're doing it the right way. That's why you see, like on this paper, like these 2 legs are actually tilted in a little bit, because it, like I said, it might allow you like certain degrees, like you could be in certain degrees, you could be out a certain degree or whatever. So, but in a perfect world, these 2 should amount to 90 degree. So this should be straight down and this should be straight horizontal. So like I said, 65 and 25, that's 90 degrees. So you do the same thing on this side, 90 degrees. So now I have to, like I said, measure 16.5, mark it, and then bend that 25 degrees. Again, the same thing applies all the way throughout. I have to have that tubing at zeroed out level with the bender. Once I have everything zeroed out, then I could continue, I could start bending and do that same process on the other side, and I should have my main hoop for the car. Then we're gonna go ahead and fit it in. It's always weird because the car looks big, but then the main hoop area, like the middle from bend to bend, looks kind of small. But I don't know, it always looks weird like that. Taking account, I did take out an inch, so we'll see how it fits. It should be just fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and get everything ready, clean out this table a little bit. As you see, big old giant mess, because these are the inserts for the the expansion for the floor, or anchors, drop-in anchors for the floor. And this has actually been helping me out. So at first I was like, you know what am I gonna do with this? Like, this is not gonna help me. It definitely doesn't have the same kind of like center line radius as my bender. So I was like, how the heck is, well, you know what, like I set it up for 65 degrees, and even though I have the markings here on the bender, that is like a second check for me. Like I said before, you could actually, you know, like it's a common thing. Obviously, it's common sense. You could always take away metal. You cannot always put back. And same thing applies with bending. You could always bend more, but you can never really unbend. So therefore, I bend it here and stop just shy of it, and you could actually take it out. Of course, the only bad thing about taking it out is you're gonna have to reposition everything, realign everything, or whatever. But if you have any doubts, like I didn't want to overbend it because I had moved something, and I was in doubt. So what I did, I bent it to where I thought it was good. I took it out, put this at 65, and then matched it up with the bend, and I saw that it was not enough, so I kept bending it, did the same thing until it matched 65 degrees, and it was perfect. So let's move on with the other two bends and try to fit the main hoop in the car. See what we got. So hold on, not sure if you're able to see, but I do have the main hoop completely done. It is just tack welded on the floor, on the plates. Those are chromoly plates, 125, which is 1/8 of an inch. And then I do have at least this one rear bar done already, and it connects right there. Pretty good fitment. I love the location down there, is perfect where I need it. Good position. I do have the other one right there on the floor. All I gotta do is cut it. I'm gonna cut it a little bit longer than this one, just like a half an inch longer, maybe an inch, just in case. I want to be able to, you know, like this one, the way I did it is I notched it at the top and left it long at the bottom and started cutting slowly. Obviously fixing the angles as I went, the bottom angle, because the notch would stay the same, and just kept going until I got it to fit where I actually wanted it. So it's fitting good. The whole cage is fitting pretty good, pretty tight on top, just like I wanted it. I actually can't remember if I measured or not or what, but I kind of got super lucky on the harness bar. I put the seat in yesterday, and the holes for the seats were like barely above the tube, which is totally perfect. I mean, it's perfect where it is right now. So I'm pretty happy about that. So yeah, we're gonna continue today. I'm gonna mock up. I'm actually going to cut that sheet right there on the table. Is that's the chromoly plate. So I'm gonna cut two more for those back tubes, rear tubes, and then I'm gonna cut two more for the transmission hump. And the reason is because there's a tube that goes from here, from this corner, to the transmission hump, and the same thing from that corner to the transmission hump. And you have to have, anywhere you have a tube going to the floor, going to any part of the body of the car, it has to have a 6x6 inch plate, the 1/8 of an inch plate. Okay, so therefore I got to do one there, one on the other side of the hump. It can form around the body, so that form right there, I could do that. I could have probably done this form here, whatever, but it's kind of difficult to do all that. You gotta heat this all up, and to be honest, like, I don't really like to heat any metal unless it needs to be welded or something like that, because it changes all the structural. It changes everything in the metal. It sometimes can make it weaker, more brittle. So therefore, if it makes it brittle, you can imagine in a crash, in a serious crash or something like that, it could potentially like fail. This guy plans on using this car hard. I mean hard. Like, this guy is serious about going fast. So therefore, I don't need to be making any mistakes on this. It's my first full cage. It's definitely my first chromoly cage. So we'll see. And my first cage was actually like a 4-point cage, because we ran out of time. We weren't able to finish it, and then but it was in a convertible car. So that being said, it was a lot easier in and out and whatever. This one, I had to, do the whole thing where I got to drill the holes and do all that stuff. So my plans are cut out the plates, tack weld the rear tubes onto the main hoop and onto the plates. I gotta clean all that area where the plates are gonna go, all that the whole 6x6 area where the plates are gonna be welded at. And then what I'm gonna do is cut all the tacks out on the floor, get the cage to slide forward, then drill the holes, so whenever I got everything done, I could put the cage through and weld the top area. I do have to get me like a stubby for my torch. I have to get a real short stubby, but that's fine. I'll get that here pretty soon, probably Monday or something like that. Today's Wednesday or Thursday? I don't even know what day it is. But anyway, I'm gonna continue. The battery's about to die, so I gotta hurry up. I'm gonna continue, and then I'm gonna update you guys on the progress on the BMW, on the GM3.